the traffic in Los Angeles. It says something that local officials warned motorists about a temporary roadwork closure on the 405 last year by calling it Carmageddon. Angelenos took the hint, and this weekend they're expected to steer clear of the latest 405 closure, named, of course, Carmageddon 2. That's how it is in L.A., a snarl of overstuffed freeways and commuters who keep their cool, except when they don't. KPCC's Stephen Cuevas has this profile of a punk rocker whose music expresses the insanity of L.A. traffic while extolling the virtues of public transit.
Couple of things you need to know about Eddie Solis. He lives in L.A., loves the band Kiss, and does not own a car.
Being someone who's from L.A., born and raised, and, having a few cars in my past, I saw the city much differently, through a different perspective, through the eyes of a bus rider.
Want to just go all the way to the back? Sure.
Line 18, Wilshire, Western Station.
Just steps from the front door of his home, across the street from a tortilla factory in LA's Boyle Heights neighborhood, Solis catches a bus that connects him with the city's subway and the commuter train he catches to his day job at an indie record label in Hollywood.
It just opened me up to little neighborhoods, galleries, clubs, bars, just everything. Just seeing what's out there, little pockets of the city.
Solis's journeys aboard LA buses and subway cars informs a lot of the material on The New Los Angeles Part 1, Through the Eyes of a Bus Rider, the latest release by the singer-guitarist band It's Casual. In Solis's vision of a new Los Angeles, people abandon their cars, climb aboard public transit, and rediscover their communities. One song extols the virtues of the LA County Metropolitan Transit Agency's Easy Pass and the urban underbelly it introduces to the rider.
And that's a nod and homage to, the people who know what you can even go cheaper and really beat the system and really steer away from spending money on gas and oil profits and all that. Is all it takes for me to witness racial tension, for me to witness illegal aliens. It's not to paint a negative picture, it's just my perspective of what is seen.
Off the bus and back on the street, we make our way past a jazz saxophonist playing for pocket change and down a long escalator to catch a train. So, where are we now?
We're at the Red Line station, the Pershing Square station in downtown LA.
And what's our destination?
We're going to go downstairs another tier, and in about 5 minutes we're going to get on the Red Line going northbound.
Okay, let's go. The Metro Red Line snakes from North Hollywood to downtown Los Angeles. It's the train that inspired It's Casual's signature tune and spawned a viral internet video. It was partly filmed late at night on a moving train as it hurtles from station to station. Solis thrashes away on his guitar and barks the lyrics, which celebrate the Red Line and call out the congested freeways that coil around Los Angeles.
Este es un tren del Metro Red Line a North Hollywood.
The 210, the 605, the freeways are not so nice. The I-5, the 210, the freeways are not so nice.
The thread that comes out of the record that ties everyone together is just be alive, don't be a victim of having a car.
An MTA spokesman said he couldn't comment on Eddie Solis's furious pro-Metro message, but the Red Line video was a hit at the offices of Move LA.
Eddie's done a good job. Thank you, Eddie.
It's the public transportation advocacy group headed by former Santa Monica Mayor Denny Zane. He liked the juxtaposition of Solis blissfully riding LA public transit in one scene with scenes of the band raging against those notorious freeway jams.
Eddie is all frantic when he talks about highways and so mellow when he's grooving on a skateboard and on the bus and on the Red Line. There's a metaphor for the transformation, from the, oh my God, I just got to get out of the traffic to, hey, this is cool, I can mellow out.
Or you can blast the tune like Too Many People as you claw your way across Los Angeles by car, bus, or skateboard.
Los Angeles, there's too many people. I want them to go away, even though it makes me so afraid.
Too Many People could also be a motto for It's Casual. Over the years, the band whittled itself down to a power duo of Solis and a rotating cast of drummers. So you may think the burly, bearded punk rocker just can't get along with freeways, with people, or his native L.A. Not true.
I love it. I love everything about it. I've traveled throughout the U.S. many times, and I could never look forward enough to coming back. The weather, the different cultures, the landscape. I was just like, you know what? Now I know why everyone moves to L.A.
Solis will bring the love and the volume during a Red Line mini tour next month. It's Casual will play a different venue within walking distance of several Red Line metro stops from Union Station to West Hollywood. For the California Report, I'm Stephen Cuevas.
That's the California Report, a production of KQED Public Radio in San Francisco. Our director this week is Nina Thorson. Sil Muller is our technical producer. We had additional engineering from Danny Bringer and Howard Gelman. Thanks to Hank Hadley at KCBX. Our online team includes Lisa Pickoff-White, David Marks, and Don Clyde. Our interns are Catherine Borgeson and Rachel Johnson. Tyke Hendricks is our elections editor with production help from Tina Lauerberg. We had editing support from Paul Rogers. Victoria Malione is our associate senior producer. Ingrid Becker is our senior producer. The news director is Bruce Kuhn. I'm Rachel Myro. Thanks for listening and have a great weekend. This is the California Report.
Funds for the California Report are provided by the James Irvine Foundation, expanding opportunity for the people of California and supporting the California Report since its premiere in 1995. And the California Endowment. Health happens in schools at calendow.org. And Chevron, investing in renewables, strengthening communities, and creating jobs. More information at chevron.com.
The 210, the 605, the freeways are not so nice. The I-5, the 210, the freeways are not so nice. The 101, the 405, the freeways are not so nice. The I-5, the I-10, the freeways are not so nice. The 210, the 605, the freeways are not so nice. I-5, the I-10, the freeways are not so nice. The red line, 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 the 210, the 605, the freeways are not so nice. The I-5, the I-10, the freeways are not so nice. The 101, the 405, the freeways are not so nice. The 605, the 101, the 101, the 101, the I-10, the 210, the 605, the 101, the 405, the I-10, the freeways are not so nice. The red line. The red line! 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 The red line!
Welcome to episode 118 of Los Angeles Nista. I am the show creator, the producer, and the host, Eddie Solis. And tonight, we have a gentleman, Billy, from a legendary band called Biohazard. And returning after a couple of weeks off, is the co-producer for this episode tonight and co-host of Los Angeles Nisa, Ephraim Schultz. What's up?
What's up, Eddie? How you doing, man? I haven't seen you in a minute.
Yeah, I'm good, man. Busy. You're busy. I'm busy. And you got a lot on your plate. I want to take the first hour to talk about, actually, Ephraim and I are going to catch up. Because even though we're peers on the show, there's, we're just like, before you know it, it's Friday, and then, you throw your neighborhood in the air like you just don't care. Then it's Monday, and we're back at work.
Exactly. It's Friday. You ain't got shit to do.
So, you know what? We're going to catch up with each other, and I hope all of you don't mind it. But this episode...
are we getting about to get sensitive and feelingsy?
118th episode of Los Angeles Nista.
Yes, sir.
Is brought to you by El Cholo Restaurant.
Excellent food.
It's brought to you by La Mascota Bakery in Boyle Heights.
So good.
Soul Skating Los Angeles in Boyle Heights. Amoeba Music,
Legit.
Hollywood, Berkeley, San Francisco.
All over.
Yeah, and it's also brought to us by Santa Cruz Skateboards, Independent Trucks, and we have Tom Knox, kickflip to wall ride inventor, coming on. I had a phone conversation with him last night.
Yeah.
Tom Knox, you know Tom Knox, right?
I don't know him personally.
But you know who he is.
I know who he is.
Dude,
yeah.
So check this out. I called him last night. We've been going back and forth.
Right.
And he's the CEO and owner of a jiu-jitsu place, Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
No way.
School. And there was a huge UFC event in Vegas over the weekend. Mm-hmm. And he had guys, his students were on that card.
Wow.
Yeah. And,
he was 6'9" dudes like a MREF or...
Yeah. Yeah. So he's...
I'm just kidding.
23 years professional
I always make that
skateboarder.
joke when you bring up fight. Anyone brings up fights.
23-year-old or 23 years. He's not 23. 23 years of professional skateboarding, and Santa Cruz is reissuing his decks, and he's coming on probably within the next 2 weeks. But that's something that is definitely happened. That's why I'm mentioning it. And
that's cool.
Jason Jesse is coming on.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Last half of March.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah. Excited about that.
I'm really excited to talk to him and get some of the scoop on the controversy over the documentary.
Really?
Yeah. I want to know straight from the horse's mouth.
I met Jason Jesse. I was up the week before Christmas. I was in San Francisco to see Los Lobos at do 2 nights at the Fillmore.
How was that, by the way? I know it was amazing. I already know the answer.
It was great. It was great. It was really, really
what
nice.
What part of their catalog did they focus on?
It was the entire thing, I would say.
Really?
It was like a 2-hour show.
That's really cool.
Yeah. They touched on every era. It was good.
Nice. Because I'm down with the new Los Lobos. I'm down with all the later records. I'm into it, dude.
My favorite one's Kiko.
Kiko's amazing, but they're so consistent. Like all the records are just slamming, so good.
I bought that CD at Rhino Records in Claremont on Yale like 6 months ago, and then I bought all the Los Lobos stuff on iTunes, and I had to do it. You know why? And I was like, I want to get reacquainted, and then I YouTubed a bunch of stuff, and Kiko, that's the most like renowned record I think that the press talks about.
Yeah.
And I totally get it.
Dude, they were on like Sesame Street when that record came out. That record was big. Dude.
Yeah, I love that record.
That record was big.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
It's crazy.
But anyways, that Friday night they played, that's when the Skater of the Year Thrasher Magazine award show.
You went to that, didn't you?
Yeah. I get flowed from Thrasher, and I got a great connection there. So I was like, dude, I'm in town. They put me on the list, and I rolled in. Like, no one's in the venue yet, and there's Jason Jesse and Lance Mountain.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And so, like, that's...
And you.
Yeah,
just
exactly.
Awesome.
Yeah, just awesomeness.
Trifecta of radness.
Pure awesomeness. Awesomeness. Hey, are you awesome?
Dude, you're so awesome.
You're not handsome, you're awesome.
So I'm stoked. Jason Jesse's going to be on.
So I met him there. Lance was already on.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was already on, yeah.
And what's funny is...
his kid DJ'd at our shop one time.
Are you serious?
Lance Mountain Jr., yeah.
Really?
Very cool. Good DJ.
That's killer. He's in a band with his son.
Really?
It's called the Stun Guns.
That's cool.
Yeah. Lance plays drums.
That's phenomenal. So before I forget, now that we're on the subject of guests, and you had mentioned Jason Jesse's coming. Might as well let everybody know that we got Will Dog from Mozo Motley coming.
What's the date of that?
He's going to be here on March 10th.
March 10th?
Yeah. I'm really excited.
In 45 minutes, who do we have coming in?
Billy from Biohazard. Crazy.
You know what's crazy?
You have any good Biohazard memories?
I do.
So do I.
I saw them open for Slayer at the Shrine.
That was with Machine Head, right?
Machine Head played first.
I remember that.
Right?
Yeah, it was Machine Head, Biohazard, Slayer.
At the Shrine. And that was, were you there?
I wasn't at that show.
But you remember seeing that, right? And then I think it started in LA and then it wrapped the whole US and it came back and ended in San Bernardino.
It did go to San Bernardino, didn't it?
Orange Show Pavilion, bro. Come on. You know what's going down.
Yeah, I know the Orange Show Pavilion, dude.
And that's when 98 Posse was doing...
Just owned everything.
Bill Fold was doing, he started working for Golden Voice and had the whole IE on lock. Right?
The IE.
On lock.
But we do have Billy Biohazard coming in. Minutes. And, dude, he's awesome. I'm really lucky because in Death by Stereo, we had the opportunity to tour across Europe with them. So
you've done a tour?
Oh, yeah. Dude.
Wait. When I posted that this morning, good. I hashtagged Tales from the Hard Side.
Oh, I hashtagged it too, dude.
Tales from the Hard Side.
That's awesome. That's some random hashtags when you click on it.
Yeah. Is it?
Yeah, dude. Some random ass ones. No, but we were on this mega tour. It was Agnostic Front, Walls of Jericho, us, Biohazard. I didn't even remember all the bands, dude. It was like this mega tour, and at one point it met up with this other tour, and Napalm Death was on it.
That's it.
In Dresden, in Germany. I mean, it was gnarly, but Biohazard in Europe is just like a whole nother ball game, dude. It is wild, gnarly.
The first time I saw Biohazard ever was in '94 at a music convention called Foundations Forum.
I remember Foundations Forum.
And it was at the Burbank Hilton.
Yeah.
And 3 nights, right? Today's during the day it's panels.
Yeah.
And then evenings it's total showcases. And the night they played, Kiss played.
No way.
Yeah. It was in the Burbank. It was the way it was laid out must have been like the size of the Key Club.
Right.
So that's not big.
That's
for
crazy.
a bill like that.
Yeah.
And I think Ricky Rackman's band played. And
Ricky Rackman.
And
we need to get Ricky Rackman on the show.
I tried.
Oh, really?
Yeah, dude.
He's not down.
Well, he's not responding, but it's okay because
hey, don't stop believing.
No, because people with bigger Instagram numbers than him respond quicker.
Hey, you know what though? I'm telling everybody that's listening right now, if you want Ricky Rackman to come on the show, you need to write him and let him know. Please.
I'm not worried about it.
Hashtag Ricky Rackman.
I'd rather have the
hashtag Cat House.
Well, what was his band's name?
I don't remember.
Wait. Ricky Rackman's band's name. They all wore gas station shirts.
I don't remember.
And they played covers.
I have no idea.
And Roger from the Adolescents was playing guitar.
Hey, we'll all wear gas station shirts. That's pretty 90s, dude.
That's great. So 90s.
So, no, but.
Docs, Dickies, gas station shirt, and a wallet chain.
Oh, my God. That's amazing.
Is that too much?
That's amazing.
Okay.
Malternative. So Billy, awesome. We got to tour with them. It was
yeah. Tell us about that. How long was that trek?
I think it was about a month through Europe. And the Persistence Tour, which is this huge tour that happens every year. We did it back in 2003 as well with Madball and Suicidal, which was pure insanity. But so much fun, dude. But we have Strung Out coming.
Okay.
And Dennis from the Free Moral Agents.
That's sick.
And he's going to drop a DJ set. We have so many guests on the horizon. A lot of people I can't say yet, but we have a lot of people on the horizon. Well, it's been getting exciting over here, man.
Yeah, it's very exciting. You know what's cool is in 45 minutes or 40 minutes, we have Billy from Biohazard, which is a huge deal to us.
Right.
And you remember the Judgment Night soundtrack?
Yeah, absolutely.
They had a track with Onyx, right?
They have a gold record from that, dude.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But before that, they did a song, Slam.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, they were in it, right?
Remember that?
Yeah.
God, that was crazy.
You know, the owner of where's Jeremy at? Where's Jeremy Hansen? I need to get him in here. Jeremy Hansen's from Pennsylvania. He's the owner of SkidrowStudios.com. And Jeremy comes from the hardcore scene.
Hardcore.
Yeah. Jeremy, what was
That's
the name of your
Boston.
band?
Boston.
Outcome.
Outcome, right?
That was the one with Jamie Getz.
Yeah, Jamie Getz is my friend from the East Coast that ran a distribution company called Very Distribution.
Yeah.
And you know Jamie Getz, right? And
Very Distribution.
And when I started,
Very.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember going there one time.
dude, when I started at Southern Lord in 2004,
Yeah.
I started selling to Jamie Getz in 2004,
crazy.
right? And then, unfortunately, John Dudek passed away. The owner, you know John? Remember John, the owner?
Yeah, he was the owner.
See, yeah, I'm 39.
That's crazy. I remember being.
You remember
in
John,
his,
right?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I was in the basement of his mother's house when he was running Very Distro.
John?
Wow.
Down there buying Earth Crisis hoodies and shit like that.
That's the only place to get him, right?
His basement. Huh?
Yeah.
He
Like a little
had
store.
tapes, CDs, vinyl, hoodies, and T-shirts, right?
Yep.
No.
Yep.
And that's where you go get your Victory Record shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
The East Coast was all about distros.
Yeah.
At shows everywhere.
Basement distros, table distros.
You'd show up to shows and there'd be 3 or 4 different.
I remember
distros.
Rick from 25 to Life would come out with
Rick to Life.
Everybody would Rick to life. Everybody would always be like, man, that is like he brings like the Walmart of hardcore, the Super K of hardcore. He brings so much stuff, and I just remembered like being at his table, like Brad, just trading a ton of shit with him, and like being all stoked. Yeah, the East Coast is all about distros, man.
Yeah. So Jamie, he has a band now called what the hell is it called?
Right now,
It was called Kings and Queens, right?
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
But anyways, what we're getting at is that's that hardcore thread that tied you together, and then when I started doing shows here,
Yeah.
I'm like Jamie Getz. You're like, what? And I had no idea he played in a band with Jamie Getz. That's pretty cool,
That's
right?
So crazy, dude.
Yeah.
Hey, is that cred?
Getz
Yeah,
was,
That's cred, right? He's got cred.
He was the singer.
Okay,
yeah.
okay. So you used to go see Biohazard.
A lot. Yeah.
Okay, how many times have you seen him?
Back in those days, they would play at 2 places on the East Coast. In Reading, there was Unisound, which was a venue run by this guy. They had a half pipe in the venue.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, it was like the cool place to go to see shows. And then there was Airport Music Hall in Allentown, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I remember that.
And Biohazard would play those venues. Like it seemed like they were at one of those places twice a month. So we were always going to see Biohazard, Sick of It All, and Agnostic Front.
We would just read about things in zines, stuff like that, talk to people, because, dude, all these amazing bands, we are all just like, oh, maybe you get to see them once a year, once every 2 years. We're just playing every weekend where you live, dude. It's so amazing.
Yeah, so, I mean, in
like
those early
mythical
days,
bands to us, you know?
Yeah, well, in those early days, I saw Biohazard a lot. And, yeah, those were crazy shows, man. Really crazy shows.
Well, how violent were they?
I mean, there was a strong skinhead element at those shows.
What year are we talking? 93?
Shit, yeah.
92?
I'm thinking 91 to 93.
Those
in that
3
range.
years.
So everybody just raging, just clashing. Yeah, that's how it was out here, too, around that time. There was a lot of skinheads at shows, I remember.
Yeah, no, I talk to people about that here, and it's interesting to me because, out there, ethnicity isn't as diverse there. So
right,
the
here,
opposition,
though,
but here it's so diverse, and I'm like, how the fuck?
You know what?
Skinheads even go to a show here?
No, right, and it's just like you'd think that one of those guys would just be like a walking target around here. You know what I mean? It's like wow, those dudes are the craziest dudes.
Can
ever.
I tell you the most violent punk rock show I've ever been to?
Yes.
Worse than the Fullerton show that we always talk about at the Ice House.
Oh, the Vandal show
when
where the guy got stabbed.
The guy at the Jimi Hendrix shirt got stabbed by a Nazi skinhead.
Hendrix. They shouldn't have wore the shirt, man.
No. Fear and NBC at the Palladium. This is 93. I was a senior.
Oh, yeah.
And
me too.
Were you at that show?
No.
Palladium?
I remember when that happened.
Fear
that
NBC.
show happening, but I wasn't at the show.
And Fear didn't play for about a decade before that show. It was,
They hadn't played in LA for
it was
a long
a while.
time.
Yeah. And it was Fear and NBC and this band called the Scatanigs.
Uh-huh.
Right?
I remember them.
You remember that?
Yeah. I totally remember that
Yeah.
band.
New York,
They're
right?
always in Thrasher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it was like Suicidals, Sharp Skinheads, Nazi Skinheads, Cholos, Burnouts,
Yeah.
Surfers, skaters.
Everybody from the Circle Jerk song.
Paisas.
Yeah.
Everyone he names.
And paisas.
It's like, what?
And then just misfits. People that want friends that don't have no friends. And
Everyone else.
When Fear was playing, there was like every LA punk gang was there.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And NOC punk gang. And they were fighting. Show was done. We walk outside. Fight there. But not just a fight, like mini riot fight.
Yeah, I got a crazy story that involved Biohazard and Sick of It All and Agnostic Front at the Airport Music Hall and
Newport Music Hall.
Airport Music Hall in Allentown, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And it was the last show that was being played at that venue. So the bouncers at this place didn't give a fuck. The venue was bought out. It was turning into something else. They're all losing their jobs. The Nazi skinheads show up. Agnostic Front is into like their first song, and it's a full-on fucking riot.
Oof.
And
not even a pit, like a riot.
No, it's a fight.
That's insane.
And I had taken a girlfriend there, and she had never been to a hardcore show at all.
Oh, God, that's awesome.
And she's just
imagine that's your first hardcore show.
What the fuck is going on? And these bouncers just didn't give a fuck anymore, so they started grabbing skinheads and just beating them. And we were like, we got to get out of here. This shit's going bad. And we run out the door, and as we're running out the door, we're in the street of the parking lot of the venue. There's a big plate glass window, and somebody just comes flying through that window like fucking
as you're
movies.
On the sidewalk?
Yeah, like Hollywood movie
like
style.
Cannonball Run or something.
Yeah,
Burt Reynolds movie, right?
Exactly. It looked like it was crazy, and we're just like, let's get out of here.
Full
like,
Burt Reynolds, dude. Like,
yeah, it was so funny, man.
Dude,
that's pretty amazing.
So that's your Biohazard memory.
That's one of the big ones because that show was just insane, and like the bands didn't even get to play.
That's amazing. I was at a house party one time in high school. You know, it was all about house parties back then. You know, I'm sure it is now, but but it is. I've been to some backyard parties still. You know, but anyways, I was at this house party and all these skinheads showed up and it was crazy and everybody's like, "Fuck, we gotta get out of here." There were so many of them, and fucking, I watched a skinhead pick up a dude. It was some dude's house, dude. There was this huge aquarium and picked this dude up and just lobbed him into the aquarium. It's all so much water's like.
What city was this in?
In Fullerton.
And why? Why? Was it just punk rock violence?
Oh, yeah, straight just raiding the party, you know, like, and then fucking,
that's like an 80s movie. Like, just get any guy, just put him into the aquarium.
It totally was. It's like you got trash can, you know, like it's super 80s. But like, it was crazy. And then all these big fish were everywhere. And the dude whose house it was.
They were on the floor?
Yeah, there's this dude like picking him up. His friends like picking him up. They're like, they were throwing him in the toilet. They didn't know what to do, so they're just swimming around the toilet bowl. I don't know, dude. It was crazy.
That's nuts.
Yeah, and when we left, all these essays were pulling up in a car. You know, it was about to get real nuts.
Was it lowrider Nazis?
Out of here. Yeah. Oh, yeah, lowrider Nazis. We need to do an expose on them.
Yeah. A synopsis.
Except not have any of them
Nazis?
here.
You know what?
Yes,
the catalyst for lowrider Nazis.
Right? The fringe of fringe is
the catalyst
is not that fringe anymore.
For lowrider Nazis. It stems from La Mirada, and you smoke meth and you have nothing to do, so you create lowrider Nazis. That's it.
Yeah. You know, dude.
Let's not give them too much credit.
Yeah. That's like I have this new club. We're called the Guy Fucking Lesbians. You know, like, what? How does that work? I don't really know.
Yeah.
But it just exists.
Hey,
it just doesn't make sense, right?
You know what I love? From the fact that we're sitting here and we're actually catching up. But I have a serious question. You know what's rad? Is it's cool because, I've known Dan since Eyelid. Dan Palmer from Death by Stereo.
Oh.
Your guitarist.
Yes.
Key member of the band, right?
Key member of Zebrahead as well.
Yeah. And, I love Dan. I love you. And it's funny because I've shot random emails and text messages to Dan Palmer. I'm like, yeah, man, when are you going to come on? He's like, oh, man, 3 more weeks. And then all of a sudden he's on tour again.
He's in Australia right now.
And I look at his post, and all he puts is like, we're fucking partying.
I know, he's outrageous. Dan is the best. Dan is a legend, dude.
I'm like, you know what I love about it is like, I could get responses from Christian Asoy Faster, Tony Alva, Jason Jesse. I could get responses from the Black Flag Camp, but Dan won't respond. But then I'll see a post, I'm fucking partying.
Dude, you're like, okay, I get it.
Yeah. it makes you think.
Okay, I'm going to paint a picture for you. I don't know if I've...
Tell me about Austin.
Tell me, you know this story already.
Please tell me.
Okay, I don't know if I've ever told this on the air, but...
Check this out.
Where are you going?
Come here.
Anyways, we're in Austin at South by Southwest, and...
With Dan Palmer, he's got a
you guys
bald,
love this story.
He's got a bald, big head, and he's got a gigantic mustache like Baker Square.
Yeah, and he's just like this big fucking ox, mustache, like moved here when he was younger, grew up in the snow. He's from England, so he's just British and just and fucking, but the best human being I've ever met in my life. You know what I mean? Would carry you over his back in the snow for like 10 miles uphill, barefoot in clogs.
Yeah.
Solid gold. So my brother, but dude, rage.
He rages more than anyone ever. Okay, tell him about South by
We're in
Southwest.
Austin, Texas, South by Southwest. We're raging all night. We all get split up. We find each other. We split up. We find each other. We split up. Dan's gone. We split up. Dan's still gone. Split up, come back. Dan's still gone. We never find Dan.
5 a.m.
Yeah, it's like 5 a.m. We're walking down 6th Street all wasted. Just like, let's go to the hotel. I don't know where Dan is. What are we going to do? Then from like way down the block, all we hear is, ah! And he's in the middle of the street with his hands in the air, going like this, but he doesn't even know we're there.
No, but like this, right?
Yeah. Ah! Ah! And then we're all like, ah! We start screaming too, and then he realizes we're there, and then he gets like, ah! Even crazier. We're just like, ah! Like it was, dude.
That is amazing.
Yeah, that's been the last 15 years of my life. With that dude, it's been amazing, man.
Okay, let's talk about more Death by Stereo because you guys are playing Australia.
In May, we're going to Australia.
Yeah,
Dan's in Australia right now with Zebrahead.
Really?
He's a lucky dude, man. I think he kind of lives there part-time now. It almost feels like, no, but he's always there.
Well, let's talk about that run you're going to do.
We're going to be participating in a tour called the Hits and Pits Festival.
Yep.
8 shows in Australia. We're going to be playing with Strung Out, Unwritten Law, The Casualties, Heart Sounds, 10-Foot Pole, and a bunch of bands. It's going to be great. I'm really excited. We haven't been to Australia in 8 years, so this is like a really big deal for us. When did Dan get in the band? We started the band in 98. Dan got in the band in 99.
Nice.
So he's an OG, dude.
He's OG, man.
Yeah. He's one of the architects of this band. So absolutely. So this band would be nothing without Dan. Like anybody asks me about this band, I'm like, it's all Dan.
I remember when I was in Relax Bar shows.
Our band is Dan.
When I was in Relax Bar shows, I remember he was doing Dirty Black Summer.
Great.
Yeah.
Shredding.
Yeah. He would come to play.
Dirty Black Summer, for everybody that doesn't know, is a Danzig tribute band that Dan is involved in that has a female singer. It's really, really, really cool.
Yeah, he's a great guitarist. I remember having a serious conversation with him in the patio one night, and in East Hollywood, and he was telling me how he was taking lessons. He was like, he was so good at guitar.
He's still studying.
Yeah, no, he was so good at guitar already. And then he was taking lessons from like a total metal guy, right?
Yeah.
And
I know, Michael Guerrero.
Yeah, Mike Guerrero.
Amazing.
Yeah. And he retains all this information and becomes really good.
Dude, he's learning how to fucking sight read.
Yeah.
You're just like, what? That's some next level shit.
Yeah, but not like just basic stuff, like crazy stuff.
Yeah.
It just amazes me. Like, I mean, he's a good example of people like moving forward all the time. He's always progressing.
Total progression.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if he starts learning different languages.
There's a book, right? There's a book that Dan read. The name of the book escapes me. Whenever we have Dan on, we'll ask him about it. But the theory in this book is that if you can get in like 10,000 hours of doing a specific thing, you will be a master at it. It takes 10,000 hours to be a master. And that's what Dan's trying to apply to the guitar.
Everything.
He plays the guitar every day, like all the time. Like, I don't care where we are on tour. You're in the hotel room, you're driving somewhere, you're in a van, you're anywhere that he can have in his lap, he's practicing all day. He's completely devoted to it. It's awesome.
And you know what? You and I have both been around a lot of big bands. They don't play as much as that.
No way, dude. They don't play at all.
They don't play at all.
You see a lot of big bands that are just like,
they show up right before they play,
yeah.
and then like they leave right after this.
Hey, sometimes Death by Stereo shows up right before we play, but we don't leave after
don't
we
leave.
get smashed. They have to kick us out of the venue usually. So
That's good stuff.
But anyways, I know you had mentioned earlier there was some controversies in the news. You know, that you started talking to me before we even came in the building.
Gay basketball player.
Wow. So that's got to be international news. I think some people might find that, it's going to damage his career. I think it'll just enhance his career because there's nothing like, how can you not respect a dude that's just being him?
Yeah,
you know?
He's being transparent.
And not that he would do it for those reasons, but dude, that's going to be that dude's going to be in cover of every magazine on the planet.
You put him under a microscope, he's the real deal.
Right.
You know, he is who he is, so be it. You know what? As a fan of sports, professional sports,
yes.
At the end of the day, I don't care.
Mm-hmm. And I don't care, period, anyways.
What that person is doing
right?
When they're home.
Yeah, because I'll tell you what, there's probably a bunch of straight players. They're doing some pretty twisted shit. Probably more twisted shit than he is.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
And he's probably not doing anything twisted. You know, exactly. I'm just saying, like...
Yeah.
Everybody just does what they do. And who gives a shit?
Exactly. So, you know what? You're involved in ownership of Program Skateboards in Fullerton. Mm-hmm. And I was very intrigued by the fact that Santa Cruz Skateboards is releasing the Star Wars boards. Did you guys...
I think that's going to be... for a non...
Did you guys order any?
Of course we did. Because I think for a non-skateboarding related thing, that's going to be such a big thing in skateboarding. Well, that's going to be huge. Everybody's going to snatch them up.
Well, March 3rd, a week from tonight, is a release day.
Yeah.
Okay. It's like a Star Wars Santa Cruz collaboration. There's cruisers, there's decks. It's a limited edition package boards.
Right.
And,
people like those limited collectibles and those limited editions, and even ones that aren't limited edition just still sell like crazy. Like anything, like all those Simpsons decks that came out, people love those, man.
There were Simpsons?
Oh, yeah.
You know what would be big if someone did SpongeBob decks?
Those would be big.
Those would be huge, right?
Those would be really big, actually.
Right?
Like a legit deck, though.
Like pro decks that you could skate. Yeah. But it's just like one SpongeBob character on the bottom. But, legit.
Oh, yeah. All the different characters. That would be huge. I can't believe more people aren't doing, like, legit collabs.
Right.
You know?
Right. So, for me, it just seems like the landscape of independent retail is so difficult. Whether you're selling skateboards or clothes or general merchandise or music. So when these collabs come out, when you have them, it's like you're like the tastemaker of your neighborhood.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. You definitely are the tastemaker. I mean, we at the shop, we think about all day about the people we work with and who we want to link up with and how it's going to affect us and, help us grow. So, I mean, who you collaborate with is everything.
Yeah. But as far as the competition goes, I mean, when something like that comes out, the big companies make it fair. Like they don't tell you how much you're getting, right? It's always like that, right?
Yeah.
It's more like...
yeah. And then, there's not a whole lot of money to be made on skate decks, period, too.
The markup's not big?
No, man, they're expensive. And
so if I buy a board...
And skaters don't make that much money off skateboards,
So if I buy a $50 deck, how much does the store make it? Like $10?
Yeah, it depends on the brand. But yeah, dude. And like skaters, like there's really big skaters, they're just getting $5 a deck. That's it.
Yeah, that's the average royalty.
Yeah, you get $5 a deck. You're just like, that's all you're making? You're a pro skater. You think that they would be on some crazy like salary every month, and not that many are.
Some are, but
a
lot are.
And not as many as used to be, man. Things have changed quite a bit, man.
Yeah, they have. But
there's like a lot of really big, legit pros, well-known guys, shredders that don't have a pro deck. They've got a shoe, they've got this and that, no pro deck. Like, that's trippy. That happens to people. Like, it just escapes me. But I think maybe skating's going to have to adjust the same way record labels have. You know what I mean? Like, I think there needs to be just really limited pressings of things,
Boutique product.
Exactly.
In addition of 1,000.
That's just the way to go, period, I think. Speaking of boutique products, too, the guy's VJ from ASG, the owner of Artist Series Guitar, he sent me here with the new Anthrax prototype guitar.
It goes on sale tonight at midnight.
It does go on
and
sale at midnight.
And you brought it.
This is actually going to the band. It's a prototype. It doesn't even have the headstock logo on it yet.
So this one's going to the band?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And we're going to shoot a bunch of video content with it and with the band. And it's really exciting. I mean, it's right behind you, actually.
Okay. Is the band coming in to OC soon for this?
We are figuring out. They're super busy right now. We're going to probably drop it to them in... Where was this? I think in Pennsylvania. But it's going to get shipped to a couple different places to find the guys because Scotty Ian's out on his spoken word tour right now.
Oh.
Pretty cool, huh? Yeah. So it's really exciting to work with Anthrax, and it's a Persistence of Time collaborative guitar.
Let me ask you a question. How did ASG come up with that cover instead of the others?
I picked it.
You picked it?
Yeah,
Is that
dude.
You? That was the biggest selling record, though.
Yeah, but beyond that, it's my favorite record. And the art, I was looking, they have so much great art, but the art for that record and the colors just really, really pop off the wood with a high gloss, finish. And then so it just, I don't know, it just stands out for some reason. There were several mock-ups made with different album art on them and several versions of the Thraxgram logo.
Thraxgram.
Yeah, and so what's going to happen is this guitar is going to go first. There's only 100 of them in the world. They'll be limited. They're going to sell, and then once those are gone, they're going to continue in a series with different art of really, really,
ASG did very well with the Motorhead guitar, didn't they?
Sold out in a week.
Wow.
It's crazy, huh?
It's a lot of guitars.
There's Anthrax coming, Rob Zombie, Alice Cooper, collaboration with actually who I'm going to get in here. There's a great street artist called Can't Stop Good Boy. And he's a dynamo street artist. He's incredible. And he's really shaking things up. And so what we're going to do is he's got his paintings in galleries all over the world. He's amazing. But what we're going to do is we're going to have him hand paint one of the guitars instead of painting a canvas. And that one guitar will be one guitar of one in the entire world.
Wow.
Which will hang in an art gallery. Then we're going to make 30 more guitars with that painting graphic on the front of them. And they'll be used as his medium for prints rather than traditional prints. So those 30 will be the only 30 prints in the world. And they will all be sold at different art shows, auctions, and galleries all over the world. So we're going to get him in here. It Can't Stop Good Boy. Google him. He's amazing. He's on Instagram as well. His art's incredible.
Very well done. What else is coming out on ASG? Like, as far as established commercial bands?
There's going to be a second Motorhead guitar coming.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's going to be a lower price point model, $200. Different art. I think there's only going to be 200 of them made. It's a really, really cool graphic. I can't say too much about it yet, but there's that. I mean, God, I'm trying to think how many collaborations we have coming up. It's insane. And for everybody that wonders why I'm always talking about the guitars, because I work with this Artist Series guitar as well.
Right.
I do A&R work for them. So I try and link them up with different artists and brands and athletes.
Yeah, and you're the catalyst for making a lot of these come to see the light of day.
Absolutely.
Have you guys talked to Kiss yet?
We have not. We got to get through to Doc McGee.
Dude, he's a fence, dude, huh?
I just don't know. I don't, who knows? I don't know anybody that's like, oh yeah, Doc. Call up Doc McGee for you. No one knows him. Who knows Doc McGee?
It's that level, right? Guy? It's like Kiss and Bon Jovi.
Yes. Dude, because I would love nothing more than to have a great conversation with Gene Simmons.
Dude, you guys should do ASG guitars.
Yeah.
You guys should do a Cholo series.
Oh, I'm so down with that. You know I'm down with that.
I know you're down.
We need to do a Manic guitar for Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah.
Manicus Manic guitar.
Yeah.
That'd be great. I just tracked a new Manic song day before yesterday. You know the legendary punk band The Crowd?
Yeah.
They're doing a record with a bunch of their classic songs, but they're collaborating with different artists on them, like the Adolescents and different bands. So I sang the classic song Tricks Are for Kids, which was recently featured in the movie Crank, which is crazy. That song still just got life, And we changed it to Tricks Are for Güeros because Mexicans only buy cereal in a bag. So anyways, I know we're going to listen to some music, right?
It's time for a music break. And when we come back, we're going to talk to Billy Biohazard.
I can't wait.
Let's do it.
All right.
Hi, this is Kent Torchel. You're listening to Los Angeles Nista at Skidrow.
This episode of Los
Studios.com.
Angeles Nista is brought to you by La Mascota Bakery, a family-owned business serving the community since 1952. Tamales and sweetbread, made the old-fashioned way daily.
Life is too
yourself.
the face, that's what you think of me. Friends are just roles we choose to occupy. Splits on the radar, passing in the night. And all of the good times, they only end bad. And all of the laughter, it always turns sad. You lied. Well, handshakes mean nothing, and a man's word is his lie. I can't believe I went along for the ride. Knife in the face when I was down and out. Knife in the face, it left no doubt. Knife in the face, this is reality. Knife in the face, that's what you think of me. This is the sound of a broken heart. I bared my soul and I had it ripped apart. This is the sound of shattered dreams. They flew too high and above their means. And all of those knives that were buried in my back, not one of them could stop me in my tracks. But the knife that got me, that put me in my place, is the one that you stuck right in my fucking face. Knife in the face. Knife in the face. Knife in the face. Knife in the face. Your handshakes mean nothing, and a man's word is his lie. I can't believe I went along for the ride. The ride. Yeah, what a ride. Just you and me, man. We're gonna go down that highway together. We're like a dynamic duo. It's like
All right, welcome back to the 118th episode of Los Angeles Nista. I'm the show creator, producer, and host, Eddie Solis. We got co-host Ephraim Schultz from Death by Stereo.
What's happening?
And this episode is brought to you by Amoeba Music, Death Wish Skateboards, Santa Cruz Skateboards, and MetalAssault.com. In-studio guests with big pleasure. I've seen them play many times with many different bands in different situations. Billy from the band Biohazard. What's up, man?
What's up, bro? How you doing?
What's going on, man?
Thanks for having me.
You know, I got to ask you, man. I mean, you guys are just, you're so rooted in New York. You're out here now.
Yeah.
How long has it been?
It's awesome. It's great, man.
Yeah. It's been how long?
One of the reasons we came out here in 2008. So
Okay.
I think one of the big reasons, now I realize why New Yorkers are so miserable. all my lyrics were always, about, I mean, I woke up every day and, when the sun came out, you were excited. Here, when it rains, you're excited.
Right.
Totally.
So that was a big difference. And plus, most of the bands that a lot of the bands that I grew up listening to were all from here. So to live in South Bay, where
Black Flag, all that stuff,
some of the greatest bands ever came out of, all over California. So
That's how we felt about the East Coast here, though, because we would get bands less frequent. They were from the East Coast, and we'd all all this
as much as I love my home, always will. I'll always represent. But I never looked at it, to me, like this was the epicenter of music.
It really is, right? I mean,
I mean, New York, we grew up, CBGBs and a lot of great bands, a lot of bands that influenced
East Coast, period.
But the West Coast, that's where, to me,
I'm proud. Don't get me wrong. I'm really proud. We have some of the
gra-
best bands that have ever been.
The grass is always greener, you know?
Right. You know, You know what's funny is, you know, you can't deny, you know, I had a, you know, we were always doing episodes and, you know, have actors on, professional skateboarders, people from here, people not from here, established, you know, doing their craft for a long time.
Yeah.
And I always, you know, my new thing is I tell people, I go, you know what? Some people in LA will let you down, but the weather will never let you down. Mother Nature never lets you down, man. This is winter.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
I know. Believe me, man, all my boys are getting slammed with snow and sleet, ice.
So brutal, dude.
Shoveling your way out of the driveway.
Now I don't even bother texting back. They're like, how is it out there? I'm like, it's good, man. It's good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You don't want to rub it in.
I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah. But now you know why there's a Beach Boys. It makes sense. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Totally makes sense.
Hey, I got a question for you. I mean, you know, when I discovered Biohazard, there was no internet.
Yeah.
All that stuff. It was just like MTV and magazines.
Thanks for making me feel old.
That's awesome, dude.
But when tell the backstory, like, you know, when I saw one of your first videos, Tales from the Hard Side on Headbangers Ball, how long were you guys around before you got to that level?
We started way back. I think the first demo we did was Easter Sunday, 1988. So we just lit on, you know, 4 schmucks from Brooklyn that loved everything hardcore and metal. And then we just kept doing it. And at first we had a friend of ours was a manager, and he tried to, you know, go different record labels and try to get us deals. And everybody was like, nah, you guys suck. And so we eventually were just like, you know what? Forget it. We'll do our own thing, you know, and we just focused on doing what we wanted to do our way. And then all of a sudden, you know, 220 people turned to 200 people, and we started doing, you know, playing like Lemoore was our club in Brooklyn. So we started doing better and better and became like the band that would open up for all, like, you know, the West Coast bands. Any national band that would come through, we'd open up for them. We became that local band, and it was great. And then we got a record deal, and then things just started happening. But we didn't really pay attention. I think the first time, we never really believed that anyone besides our girlfriends would like us, you know? And especially the music that we were playing. I remember one of the guys in the band, his old man was like, you guys want to make money, and this is the wrong type of music. You should be playing like pop music or something. We're like, fuck that. This is what we love, you know?
Yeah.
We like to be, you know, we're kids from the underground, and we represent the underground. And we were proud of where we came from and weren't looking to go anywhere, you know? Mm-hmm. So, when it wasn't a surprise to us when our manager came to us and was like, you know, God, nobody really likes you guys. No labels.
But you weren't doing it for that reason. You were really just into what you were doing.
Exactly. Matter. It was like he was one of those dudes who just like couldn't play, just liked music, and was a good friend of ours. And he had the cool briefcase, so he just wanted to be the manager. You know,
that's dope.
Yeah.
So say like with that perspective you had of yourself and your band. So like back in the day when I saw you at the Shrine with Slayer. That was like a huge accomplishment. I mean, you guys were touring with Slayer, and
they all were, bro. I mean, like, you know, like I said, playing CBGBs, the first punk rock band I played in, you know, all through school, we split up, and I told the guys, man, trust me, man, we'll play CBs one day. That was like the goal.
That was a goal.
Yeah, and we did it, and then, you know, we became like a staple there. It was awesome. So then in life, I think if you set realistic goals, it becomes more easier to attain those goals, you know, and.
Right.
You know, you don't sit down at the bottom of, you know, Mount Everest and be like, I'm going to climb that mountain tomorrow. You can't. It's too overwhelming.
Right. But it seems like it was different then, too, in the way.
Back then?
Yeah. Like bands a long time ago, it was like all you had to worry about was being big in your town.
Yeah.
Nobody really gave a shit about anything. You know what I mean? Like,
but those are the guys
you can't be big anywhere else anyways. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
you couldn't make it anywhere, you know?
Right. And that's how bands got so big. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. You know how it is. I mean, you know,
totally.
You guys, it was probably similar. I think every band I ever talked to is the same thing. That's how you aspire to, you know, do what you like to do.
Yeah.
And there's 20 other people that are doing the same kind of thing, 20 other bands, and someone takes notice, you know.
So fast forward to like, you know, your rotation on MTV and you're touring, and then you're in the game and you're putting records out, like Roadrunner at one point, right? And then I remember you did like the Judgment Night soundtrack.
How many labels were you guys on?
They were like girlfriends. You know what I mean?
That's awesome, dude.
Once you piss them off, you're like out.
Peace.
We did a record label, the first record label. We're still like in core with those guys, but they I remember they wouldn't show us anything. They wouldn't take care of us. Everything that they
would have shown you no accounting.
Exactly. There's no love. So what we would do is we'd go on tour, and some of us would go in the room and distract the owner and a couple of the guys that worked there, and Evan and I would back up to the warehouse and just jack cases of CDs
for tour.
It was
right?
one of the first CDs that it was right when CDs came out. The first one came out in the 90s, so it was like one of the first things. Back when they first came out, do you remember they had? It was like a big
the long box,
yeah. The long
so you
box.
walk into a chain store and they were like sitting real high.
Yeah.
So we would just do that, and that's how we would live. The label wasn't paying us, so we would sell our records on tour.
Yeah, exactly.
Tricks of the trade,
exactly.
though,
Yep.
So now, I mean, like I said, I've seen you guys in different scenarios. So I mean, you guys, are a career band, meaning whether it's MTV or no MTV, big label or small label, you just go.
Yep.
And you have a demand. I mean, I've seen, I saw you guys do the Slayer show. I saw you guys at Ozfest.
Yeah.
I remember the first Ozfest that happened, and you guys were on the main stage.
The one and only Ozfest. We were never allowed back. There's a real funny story behind
What
that.
happened?
What happened? We gotta know. We gotta know.
It was the first Ozfest. It was Ozzy, Danzig, Slayer, Sepultura, Biohazard.
Yeah.
And so, what's the story?
What it was, we were on. It was us and Sepultura and Ozzy on tour. We did the whole country. And during the tour, they were talking about the last two shows. They want to change it up and bring some other bands. And it wasn't really Ozfest. It was just more like an idea. And then it became, like, I remember just hearing different things during, like, the 2 months that we were on tour about, it's going to be Ozzy's birthday. It's kind of be about Ozzy. And we were like, fuck, he's Ozzy. Awesome.
Let him have it, right?
Yeah, we'll do anything.
Yeah.
So it was great. We played Arizona, and I think Slayer joined on, and Danzig joined on. And so it became, like, a bigger event. And then we played down San Bernardino, and that was...
the real big venue, like 35,000, 40,000.
Yeah, they filmed it, and during the day we threw a party, and we made like a small film on the tour bus, and we didn't ask permission. It was our tour bus, so for us it was a house, our house.
Right.
So when the powers behind Ozfest, Sharon found out, it was a big deal. And it never came back to us. We were never allowed to go play Ozfest ever.
Because you made a video.
Wow.
Yeah, one of those videos.
One of those videos. Well, one of those videos when you were in a band playing big shows on a tour bus.
Yeah, that's what happens every day.
What else are you going to do? You know what I mean? Come on.
We're like Brooklyn kids in California.
Yeah. Like, this is a life.
Burnt our skin.
Interesting story.
Amazing.
So you have history. I mean, my co-host Ephraim from Death by Stereo, you guys have toured together before.
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk about that.
Awesome.
When you guys first met.
One of my favorite bands.
That's awesome.
We did, we played Persistence Tour.
Okay.
That was a good tour.
It was
I never got drunk on that tour. I didn't drink a drop.
I thought they were straight edge.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you at first?
Yeah, like I thought you guys are.
Dude, a lot of people thought our band was straight edge all the time. That's happened to us so many times. We're just a fucking mess, dude.
Which I like better.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. We're one of the few bands that still goes for it.
You know what? A lot of new bands, like I don't know if everyone's getting soft. Seems like all the younger kids.
The young kids are soft, man.
Without naming names, I'm just like where's
not all the young kids are soft. There's
it's
hard motherfucking young kids out there.
But it's
I'm sorry, young kid that'll beat me up.
I saw the funniest picture. It was on Instagram, and I don't know who posted it, but it was a picture of some like newer band.
Yeah,
and they're on top, and it said "We're hardcore," and then it had a picture of Madball on the bottom, and their quote was, "Isn't that cute?"
That's so rad.
Exactly.
It's true though. Like, what the fuck is dude? I hear.
They're
a hardcore band, and I'm just like, what?
We had a good time. We got to do it again, though.
We're down, dude.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your recording studio.
Yeah.
You have a recording studio.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. And I got wind of it about 5 years ago. Now, where's it located?
Gardena.
Yep. Okay. And what kind of gear do you have in it?
Anything and everything.
Okay.
If it has an A and it ends with OG,
you have it.
Great. Analog. I'm a big analog guy. So.
Oh, killer.
Yeah.
And are you doing all the engineering yourself?
I do everything. There's a couple of guys there that work with me.
Yeah.
But I do pretty much.
What are the last couple projects you did?
I did. You were there for
Raimundos. Yeah.
I did.
From Brazil.
I have like 7 projects going on now.
Killer.
Working with there's a Russian band called Proseka.
Nice.
Another band called Bertana. Like a lot of local bands. And
cool.
Pretty cool.
That's good. Let's get into the current state of Biohazard.
That's by the way, it's Firewater Studios.
Firewater Studios. Is
Got
there
a
a website?
Firewaterstudios.com.
Boom.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Now you guys are, it just seems like Biohazard is pressing forward with tons of forward-moving energy. You guys are doing the festivals, putting records out.
Crushing.
Without getting into like politics and all that, like how did you come to be the front man?
Well, we had there was a kind of a mantra that we always had, and it was kind of like live your life, you know what I mean? How you want to live it.
Right.
Don't worry about what other people think.
Just do it.
Yeah, do it. And along the way, we've kind of fallen in and out, different members and things like that. And I was, stapled. Our drummer Danny was staple, and Bobby we split with. He's our lead guitar player.
Earlier on, right?
Yeah, earlier on.
I saw some shows with him back in the day.
Oh yeah, you did. Yeah, he was there with Slayer at the show.
Yeah,
and great dude. When we split with him, that was like a thorn to me. One regret that I had, and I don't believe in regrets. I think you just got to just go forward in life, But it was one thing not getting back together with him. Band split up eventually, and we got back together. Some friends called up and said, "Hey, what do you guys should do? Maybe a reunion, get back together with Bobby." And I had already moved on to a different band and blah blah blah. But when that happened, I was like, "Cool." That was the one thing I wish that we had a chance to redo, and we did. So we got back together as a reunion.
During that tour we were on.
Yeah, and then during that reunion, Evan, our bass player and the other singer, he just got caught up in his some things that he was going on with his life and stuff. So he quit to do his own thing, and God bless. But it's been 3 years, and we haven't turned back since.
Gotcha. Yeah. That's killer. Now I'm gonna get guitar talks with you. You always use the SG, right?
Yeah.
Now Seymour Duncan pickups.
Yep.
Yeah. What kind of Seymour Duncans?
Pearly Gates.
Nice.
Yeah. You play.
Nice.
That's where you play, don't you?
Yeah.
Aren't you in? It's casual. It's casual.
Yeah.
Ripping, dude.
I thought you looked familiar.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
And I have an endorsement with Seymour Duncan.
I know.
And I told him.
I imagine. I imagine
listen
that
tonight because we're talking about Seymour Duncan.
Yeah, Seymour Duncan's
cool.
Kathy Duncan direct.
Yep.
Yeah. So they're listening.
Yeah.
But no, so do you think that at some point, as a guitarist making the kind of music that you make, less is more? Do you think it's just about being sincere? Like what's your approach to writing Biohazard material?
To me, as a musician, I studied piano since I was a little kid.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And so music theory was like the first thing I got, was brought into my life. Then I discovered punk rock and like feeling and heart.
What was your
soul.
first punk rock experience?
Sex Pistols, I'm sure. You know what I mean?
Nice.
But from what I loved about, it was like, okay, wow, you don't have to be super talented, but you had to have heart and soul and beliefs.
It has to come from somewhere.
Yeah.
Right?
Passion.
And that always transcended over everything else.
Yeah, nice.
And people always ask me, what's some advice? Give some advice to young, aspiring musicians. And I'm like, learn as much as you can, and then throw it all out. Play from your heart. Because what's right is right. How you want, how you hear something, how you feel it, what's inside is going to come out, and it's going to find the right way out. But when you try to force it to, confide to certain rules or theories.
Like an A&R guy saying, you need to make a record like this.
Yeah.
And that's when shit gets fucked up.
Which is going,
right?
Yeah, which is going back to why we couldn't find one record label to stay on.
Wow.
So I think that's pretty much where I come from. I'm more, I remember a funny story. Bobby once said to me, he's like, why didn't you, everything that you're writing it's really not based around keys, but music theory. Can't you write in key? I'm like, yeah, sure. What do you want me, what do you want me to do? He's like, I don't know, just like something. So I was fooling around with some riffs in like a harmonic minor scale, and that became Punishment.
Oh,
so I remember saying, okay, here you
That's
go.
Killer.
Can you play to this?
That's cool.
One of our biggest songs, yeah.
What
really
was
cool.
interesting scenario I saw Biohazard play was, I'm sure you remember this, there was a music industry convention called Foundations Forum And it was at Burbank Hilton. And you guys played the ballroom, but that was like, it was like a CMJ.
Yeah, it's
like
massive.
Like during the day, it was like panels, all music industry. And at night, there were showcases. And you guys played the same night Kiss played, I think.
Yeah.
It was like 3 nights. But it was like, it was a music industry convention.
Yeah.
I remember Bobby gave this amazing speech during the set about like, like he put it all out there. It was like about just being there for music. And it was like one of those Bobby moments. It was awesome though, but I connected with it.
He did.
I was interning for a company at that time. I was really young, like 19.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, wow, they're like real. I was like, Biohazard's real.
See, it always goes back to one of the guy's fathers in the band saying to us, you're playing the wrong music if you want to make money. You know what?
Right.
Maybe we didn't make the money, but we still have everything else intact. And that integrity, and I'm proud as hell.
You guys have a legacy? Records, catalog, a huge tour history, and you guys tour every year massively.
An international family.
Yeah.
Now we do.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
There's a huge demand in Brazil for you guys, it seems like.
Okay, I'll follow Portuguese.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brazil. I just did a record for a band from Brazil called Raimundos. But
really cool.
We have good times. We'll play your bar mitzvah.
That's awesome, man.
That's so rad.
Let's talk about.
I'm just gonna have a bar mitzvah.
If you pay,
I'm just gonna have one.
If you pay us, you gotta pay.
Yeah. All right.
What's funny is it's funny you bring up like being from the East Coast and New York and some of the West Coast bands, LA, like impacting you guys. Yeah. A band for us that was very New York that like really opened up the crossover doors was SOD.
Yeah.
I mean, for us that was
huge
like
for
a huge
us out
deal.
here, dude.
So I remember when they came back, I think it was like what?
Mexicans would fight you if you wore that shirt.
Dude, I always wondered
when I was in high school.
To be on
dude, if you wore that shirt, you fucking get in a fucking fight.
It's speak English or die was like to me it was all like it's pushing it a little bit, man.
Oh, it was totally pushing
but
it.
It's so New York. It's like fuck you, man.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
it's rad being like Mexican American growing up in like LA, East LA. Like it'd be like you have like like my parents are from here, but like maybe their parents are from Mexico. It's like we're like English is the first language, but the people that don't speak English would be like speak English or die to our neighbor. But it's all good, you know what I mean?
That's what I get. I mean, we were talking a second ago when we were off air about playing in Pennsylvania, but we played so many places. We used to throw down with all the Nazi white power dudes all the time.
It used to be bad back in the day here too.
Yeah. I heard some stories, crazy stuff out here. But we used to fight all the time. And sometimes, I remember one time we were playing this place in Pennsylvania called the Airport Music Hall. And we must have played it maybe half a dozen times. And 4 out of the 6 times, there was riots.
There was a scrap.
Yeah. And I remember this one night we were playing, it was us, Sick of It All, Sheer Terror, and Agnostic Front, I think.
Oh.
And we go on stage, and our friend Chris from D.C. was with us. He stage dives, they beat him down, and he made it back on stage, and we're going crazy. And now there's like maybe 1,500 kids there, but 10 of them are just these white-powered, skinheads just throwing Sea Kyle, and but when you see 10 people grouped together doing, that's like, wow.
It's
because they're like establishing themselves within 1,500 people.
They're trying to establish dominance because they don't give a fuck.
Yep.
Apparently.
And so these dudes,
right?
They were going crazy. A couple of guys in the band were Jewish, and just like, that's it, yo, keep your politics out of this shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's us against them, the outside world.
Right.
Don't fuck this up for ourselves.
It's bad enough just having to break through the mainstream and deal with assholes in the industry.
Right. So these dudes were just exactly. These dudes were just all they wanted to do was just get at us. So I see it, and we're riling them up. And I go to the front of the stage, and they all run right to me, and I jump down, off the stage, and I'm standing between the stage and the barricade, and they run over, and they're throwing their hands in the air like this.
What?
So I'm playing, and I'm like, motherfucker. I'm like looking at him, and this one kid had these like workout gloves on. He puts his fingers by my feet, by my mouth, and I'm like, I bit it. I shake it like a pit bull. I'm like, you bit his hand. Spit it out. I'm like, what, motherfucker? And he looks at me, he's like, I'm like, go ahead, let's go. And he's got all his boys there. After the show, he comes backstage, and he's trying to get up to the dressing room. And the security guard goes, yo, this dude wants to talk to you. And I see the guy. I say, yeah, let him up. Come on up. So the guy comes up, and he goes, listen. And he talks so much shit. And he kind of said what you said a second ago. And I've had this conversation with numerous people who had beliefs that were just not what we stood for.
Right.
And it was always similar. Yo, man, the kid said, it's not, we don't have beef with you guys, and your friend Chris, he's black, and we're sorry my boys beat him up, but it's not, the blacks that we have a problem with. And this kid's going on talking mad crap. So he goes, it's not the blacks, it's the Jews.
It's blacks, it's the Jews.
What? I said, what are you, an idiot? So right then, Evan's like a dog. His ears perk up. Oh, boy. He comes right over. He goes, you got a problem with Jews? I'm a Jew. I'm Jewish, man. What's your problem? And I'm like, bro, your shit's all backwards. What's your real problem? And he goes, okay, it's not all the Jews. Just all the banks. Yeah.
You're one of the cool ones.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. So when you pushed it, but my point is that you mentioned a second ago, my family came here and they didn't speak English.
Right.
Your family.
Oh, absolutely.
Everyone's family came here and didn't speak English.
That's America.
That's America.
Absolutely.
And so we're
Italian, Mexican,
that's
Puerto
what makes
Rican.
us all great. Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's funny when people say, back to SOD, speak English to death.
It's funny though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, even on the West Coast, we got it. It's like, that's hilarious. Yeah. So
we're all American.
Exactly, man.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Actually, we're all people, just living in different borders.
Heartbeat and blood flowing. That's it. Now, tell me about what you like about LA. Like just the simple things.
And let's talk a little bit about your neighborhood.
Yeah.
I think the great thing about LA is there's obvious differences between the seasons and the weather and things like that. But the fact that I think asking, my wife, you're going to get a different answer. For me, the history of LA, to me, it's just like, wow. It's like living next door to CBGB's for me.
It's really a rich history.
Yeah. And it's not just music. I mean, that's what my life has been,
right?
For so many years. Yeah. But between, from the punk rock to the hardcore to the metal, there's that. But there's also so much of the other culture. And
love it.
I had this funny story once. Somebody said to me once, there's a difference between LA and New York. And the difference is in New York, if you in LA, if you ask somebody what time it is, they look at their watch and they're like, it's 12 o'clock. And then you walk away like, what an asshole, get a watch. But in New York, you ask somebody what time it is, somebody looks at their watch and they're like, fuck you, get a watch. So at least in LA and California,
you get the time.
I know what time it is.
That's awesome.
Have you taken the subway in LA yet?
Yep.
You have?
Of course. I mean, I grew up with
that. That's what I want to ask you. Yeah, I mean, because in New York, it's like
I'm pro. I mean, that's awesome. You got to do it.
So
it always struck me odd because we were caught here. We were doing a record here. We were in the Northridge earthquake.
So you felt an earthquake?
Felt it. We were doing a record.
So when the Northridge earthquake was here, you were living here.
Yeah.
Holy shit! That's
so crazy.
That's the biggest one we've had since in a while.
Yeah.
Crazy. So let me ask you a question.
What city were you recording in?
LA.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
What went through your mind when you felt the Northridge earthquake?
I know, right?
Like you're from
you're
New York,
you're not from earthquake.
NYC 8 hardcore.
But
you know what I mean? Like what went through your mind?
Back in New York, all your apartment buildings, there's like a big giant furnace. So when the furnace kicks on, things vibrate and things like that. So the week before, there was more and more tremors. I just assumed that it was some kind of furnace turn.
But you felt them?
No way.
Yeah, I didn't think like what. So that night we went out and we were partying, hanging out, and we were working in the studio every day. And at night we were going out to see different bands. And we were at Gaslight. Remember the Gaslight?
Yeah.
And we come home, and I'm just chilling in bed, and that's it. Everything starts shaking, and I turn around. I said to whoever.
Whoever was in bed with you?
My wife's listening. I'm sure my wife's listening. So I turn, and I'm like, wow, is there an earthquake? And she's like, yeah, wow. I'm like, wow. So then it finished, and then I yelled to Evan, we had an apartment. I'm like, yo, bro, I think we had an earthquake. He's, yeah, it's pretty wild, huh? I'm like, yeah, cool, good night, I'll see you in the morning. And we go back to sleep, and then the power's out, and then homegirl's like, yo, I think that was it's a real bad one, I think.
She thought it was really big. I mean, it was big, right?
Yeah, then we were right staying in Hollywood at some apartment. And so then all of a sudden my boys come banging on the door, and they're like, yo, the building's coming down. They're freaking out. I'm like, yo, relax. They have them all the time. It's normal here.
Yeah.
It wasn't normal. They're not, you guys,
not that
everyone
big,
else
not
knows.
that big.
No. So we went outside, and then we went up on the roof, which is probably the stupidest thing.
Because you're fucking gonna come down.
It's like 20 floors up. So we go up and we see all over, all over Hollywood, LA, everything's, Transformers are popping. And,
So you see everything popping?
Yeah,
You had like bird's eye view.
That's crazy.
Yeah. That's amazing.
That's crazy. So
Dang.
that's the straight up earthquake experience. I was going to ask you if you ever felt an earthquake, but you were here.
Well, it's funny. We have a video that we haven't released, and we will release, but it was the early years of Biohazard, and that whole scene of making that record, which was a record called State of the World Address.
Yeah.
That whole scene, we left it in. I mean, it's a massive, 10-minute scene of the home video.
No
of
way.
all the, during that experience of us on the roof, the guys are like, look at that. And then it's kind of comedic, but it was serious. I mean, we drove around and watched, fires and seeing all the devastation and unfortunately resolving the earthquake. Yeah. I mean, you guys were here, but for us, it was like a dose of reality.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like, if you could avoid it, why not? I mean, earthquakes aren't fun.
Where were you during the LA riots?
I was on Flatbush Avenue, and I remember going to the studio. We were jamming, and then I walk in, and the dude on the studio, Mike, we call him Mikey Big Balls. He's like, yo, we're closing down. I'm like, what do you mean closing down for what? He goes, LA's blowing up, and New York's going to take off. I'm like, and we were in Flatbush Avenue.
Right.
So that was, we were like, he closed up, and like, for what? What are you going to, And he goes, and we turn on the news, and then shit's just popping off here.
LA was just on fire.
Yeah. It was crazy.
All right. We're gonna take a quick music break. We're going to come back with more Billy, Biohazard, 118th episode of Los Angeles Nista. This episode of Los Angeles Nista is brought to you by La Mascota Bakery, a family-owned business serving the community since 1952. Tamales and sweetbread, made the old-fashioned way daily.
I'd listen.
Hey, welcome back to the 118th episode of Los Angeles Nista. This episode is brought to you by Poppy's Pizza, Amoeba Music, Death Wish Skateboards, and Soul Skating Los Angeles. I'm your producer and host, Eddie Solis. Ephraim Scholes, how are you, man? Co-host, producer, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. We just came back from talking about Eddie's favorite song ever, Kid Rock's Balls in Your Mouth.
Really excited, man. Billy Biohazard's in studio. Thank you, man, for coming by.
I'm excited, too.
Yeah, a lot of great insight and backstory to the band. You're located in LA now, and that's what this show's about. I mean, tell me about what you think about the Mexican food in LA.
It's awesome.
It is, right?
Yeah. It's not good back east. Now, it's
That's what I hear. That's what I hear.
It's gotten way better, but out here, it's the real deal.
I mean, it really is a difference.
In New York, there was any place where you had to buy like cultural food through a bulletproof glass was always the bomb. It was great.
That's the real deal, right?
So right down the street from my studio in Gardena, there's this best Mexican I've ever had. And I've taken friends,
out of town.
No, friends that are from here there. And that was, because at first I'm like, what the hell? What is that? What's that stuff in the plastic, like the drinks? And they're like, oh, you got to try like horchata.
No way.
Yeah, horchata, rice milk with cinnamon, Jamaica.
Unbelievable.
You like that stuff, right?
Yeah.
You know
it's
what?
culture, man. That's the most beautiful thing about life is experiencing different cultures.
You know what, though? I had Taco Bell through a thick glass window in D.C. one time, and that wasn't very good ethnic food, man.
It wasn't the same?
No.
I tell my little girl, I tell her that the Taco Bell is like McDonald's, Mexican.
Do you try to explain that to her?
Yeah, she knows.
She knows, right? She gets it.
There's good Mexican. There's, Taco Bell's not even
fast food.
Yeah.
It's like there's nothing wrong with a good hamburger when you have a really good made hamburger, right? But when you go to McDonald's, it's like,
nah.
So it's the same thing.
In-N-Out's another LA favorite.
I love In-N-Out.
Yeah.
I always get a kick out of so many celebrities of people. I hear it all the time, and I don't get to watch much TV. I'm doing my own thing, but it seems like everyone always says, I can't wait to get back to In-N-Out.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Every band, too. Every fucking band.
Yeah.
Now, you've had it.
Of course.
And what do you think?
It's awesome.
It's great.
Yeah.
And you know what? They make the menu so simple, right? It's just like red letters on white.
Well,
it's like
it's all about the secret menu.
The secret menu. I found that out a long time ago.
You know about animal style.
See, but it's different because LA, California, West Coast, you have In-N-Out. We have White Castle, but it's different.
It's
way different, dude.
In-N-Out, and I love White Castle. I grew up on it. But when you eat there, in 2 hours, it's going to be the worst, the biggest regret ever. Here, In-N-Out, it's cool.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, fresh products.
I don't mix the I won't have a burger with bread and fries. Like I'll have a protein.
Yeah.
And then I'll eat the fries.
Protein style.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't mix that's my own personal thing.
Have you spent a lot of time on the beach in LA?
Yeah. I would say a lot, but when I was a kid, came out here and did a record, and some friends tried to teach me how to surf in Venice.
Oh, cool.
And that was a joke, but I think I just liked it. It was a different thing, something that we didn't have back east. And then I come to find out that the biggest waves I ever saw were on the East Coast. From Australia and stuff like that. So I live in El Segundo. The only thing I ever heard in El Segundo was Tribe had a song called "Left My Wallet in El Segundo."
Yeah.
So my buddies were like, "Yeah, if you're gonna move out here, look, you got a family, stay in South Bay. There's a lot of history there, a lot of great people." And when El Segundo came up, I'm like, "What else? Where did I hear that song and that name before?" And then I remembered the song. I left my wallet in El Segundo. So I'm like, then I looked up the song. I'm like, oh, that place has got to be a racist place. It's got to be something heavy going down there.
Yeah.
But it's cool. I love it, because I made a lot of good friends there. And,
yeah.
It's cool.
It's good stuff.
Yep.
Now, LA's a big place, don't you think?
It's huge.
Huge. Okay.
New York, we go up.
Yeah.
You guys just blast everywhere.
The first time I went to New York, I couldn't believe the skyline. It was like, whoa.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
And you see it. And then when I talk to people from New York, they're just like, man, it's like it got squashed. It's like everywhere.
Yeah.
It's huge, right? I mean,
massive.
Lots of beaches, lots of culture.
What's your favorite LA thing to do?
Favorite thing
only in LA.
What's an LA thing that you just love?
I don't know. I got my own personal thing, and a lot of fans of ours probably would be like, "What?" I'm a family man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I love that it's crazy, but you can go, you can go to the beach and, and dump your ass in the cold water and then jump in a car and drive a couple hours and be on a snowboard.
Exactly.
That's pretty badass.
That's pretty badass in the same day.
Yeah. And stop in and out on the way back.
Yeah.
Which I've never done in the same day, but.
No, I mean, we've done
it's possible.
Oh, yeah. In the end of spring, beginning of summer, like May.
Yeah.
Like you could just roll out of bed. You get to the beach and boogie board.
Yeah.
Right? Early. And then get up to Mountain High by 3. Like an hour and a half session.
Yeah.
And then go back to a skate park. And you're like.
That's the other
Superman.
thing too. Skating. I mean, this is the epicenter.
It really is the epicenter, right?
Yeah. Because I remember when I was a kid.
Because the wintertime's brutal, man.
Yeah. There was we had some family that came out that settled over here in California, and they came to visit on the East Coast, and they brought skateboards. They brought
really
the old fiberglass ones. That had,
I remember
flowers on them.
Yeah, I remember having those when I was a kid. Yeah,
you're like, what is this, right?
Yeah, we were like, what is it? And we heard about it. We were like, this is pretty cool. We tried it, and we became skaters. But that's when we started following the magazines, and then we realized they skate in pools, and then everything started to blow up big here. I mean, we were talking when we were real young. So the skate scene here it's just massive. It's big in New York too, but we have weather
there's
to
great
deal
skaters
with.
on the East Coast. Man.
Yeah, but there's weather to deal with. Here, there's no weather to deal with.
Exactly.
And every neighborhood's got a park.
Right. Let me ask you a question. Are you a sports fan? Baseball, basketball, football? Anything?
Hockey.
Fight.
Football, but I'm not a fan. I don't subscribe to the, that whole thing.
Do you have a team,
But I
though?
watch. Yeah, of course.
What's your team?
Jets, Mets.
Jets and Mets?
Yeah.
Not Yankees?
No way.
Really?
Yeah.
Can I ask why?
It's a Dodger thing. When the Dodgers left, most people just became Mets fans. So I have a amount of respect for the Dodgers, too.
So you do respect the Dodgers?
Of course.
You love them?
Of course.
They are badass, right?
Hell yeah.
So it's like Dodgers and Mets?
Yeah.
I get it. See, I'm like Dodgers and Yankees.
You can't
No
say,
Angels.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? Like,
you can't say you don't like the Dodgers in L.A., dude. It's kind of dangerous. Yeah.
Funny story.
You know?
We did a video once, and we were coming across the Brooklyn Bridge, and somebody, I don't know, I can't remember the scene, but somebody stage dove on top of us while we were singing into the camera, and they put a hat on top of me, and I just put the hat on, and I don't wear caps, I don't rock that, that's my style, but I just took it and fixed it and then threw it. It just ended up in the video, but it was a Dodgers hat. Oh. And I remember I think the dudes and my homeboys in Downset were like, yo, man, we love you guys, but why'd you diss fucking LA?
Because he threw it?
Yeah, like, what do you mean I dissed it?
Roy's our dude. We've had him on here.
Roy's a great dude.
They're like, what's up, bro?
He's the best on.
Yeah. But he called me on it. I'm like, bro, right on, man. You called me on it.
Because you're so into it, right?
It wasn't intentional at all. Like, it was part of the video, yeah.
Power flow?
Yeah, Roy, because you know how like the songs Roy writes, dude. It's like Roy has this style of riffing. He named it Power Flow, and we're like, that's a fucking perfect description for how he plays, right?
That's good, yeah.
It's like a genre almost. Like we were like hashtagging it Power Flow.
Power Flow.
I got a Roy story. Roy,
tell me.
Pardon me, brother. I'm gonna drop it.
Do it.
We got we took them out. It was the first time in Europe. It had to be early '90s.
And for everyone's listening, that's Roy from Downset.
Yeah. And love all the guys, everybody. And Roy the shows were so crazy. Things were just starting to pop off in like the underground scene. It started getting bigger and bigger. So the shows weren't like, they were no longer 200-300 kids. It was like 2,000-3,000 kids, but with the same hardcore
energy
and chaos. So it started getting real crazy, and we had our boy Tiny, another LA native. Remember OG Tiny?
Oh, security guard.
Yeah. Tiny was our boy for years. He was this. But Tiny, we brought him on, and we like, bro, we want to keep the same feeling, the same heartfelt underground vibe. But these dudes that when we're playing 2,000 seaters, they don't know what it's like. We don't want kids to come on stage and get beat up. Let them come up. Let them make sure that security knows where we're coming from. That it's cool. That we're all one family. It's not about beating
them instead of throw them or
help them up and help them out.
Them, yeah.
So Downset came out, and things were just massively crazy because there was always, unfortunately, there were injuries. Right, a lot of people got hurt. So the part of the requirements, they always had there was always a couple ambulances, and they would set up like a makeshift hospital on the side of the stage.
Wow.
Because so many people get hurt.
Yeah.
So it's crazy, right? I think about that. So make long story short, these guys just were like, what is this? What's going on? They were coming from shows out here, from like, crazy hardcore shows, but not at that, in front of so many people. And one time, Roy came up and he was just a little shot. He was just wasted, right?
Yeah.
But he's covered in duct tape and he came out like a mummy. And he stumbles across stage.
Like the mummy?
He kind of, just wrapped in duct tape. It's hilarious, bro.
I fucking love Roy, dude.
Stumbles off the stage into the crowd and they carry him around and he falls through. And
He falls through. If I just like you can't even like get up because you're wrapped. People are just stomping on you.
I don't know if the other guys in the band just like tackled him and did him up, but it's funny.
You got a lick in that night.
We've been best friends ever since. Yeah.
That's cool, man.
That's amazing, dude.
Tell me what's up with that. With Biohazard, you guys got tour dates coming up?
We've been working on a new record. We hit the road in April. We're working on a new guitar.
Yeah, we're making a guitar.
Yeah, let's talk about that really quick.
Artist Series guitar.
ASG.
And Billy are collaborating on a Biohazard.
We've revealed
guitar.
the Motorhead guitar on here, and we've revealed the Anthrax guitar tonight.
That's coming out tomorrow.
Yeah, midnight. And you're going to have your own guitar. It's a Biohazard guitar or a Billy?
It's
both.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And you're going to be able to see it with him out on the road. He's going to be playing. It's going to be
I'm going to rock that every night. And if you pay a good price, I'll sell it to you after the show.
Hey-o.
I got a question for you.
What?
Some of your favorite musical influences?
I'd say Minor Threat. I had it.
Hands down?
Yeah. Minor
That's
Threat.
rad.
Bad Brains.
By the way, Brian Baker's like the best dude ever.
Yeah.
I love that dude.
Yeah, it's just weird to sit down and drink a bottle of Jack with him.
Yeah, not anymore.
Okay,
He's sober now.
Great, God bless him.
Yeah, but it is weird to do the
Yeah, it's like, whoa, what?
Hey man,
I was straight edge for years because of you, bro.
Yeah, you've been straight edge.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
Hopping.
That wraps up the 118th episode of Los Angeles Nista. Billy for Biohazard, thank you so much.
Thanks,
We
Billy.
appreciate your
Thank
time
very
and you
much.
coming on.
God bless me. You guys got a great thing going on.
Stoked
Keep
you're
it up.
here. Thank you very much.
Everybody look him up.